Welcome to Lesson 5. Lesson 5 is the incarnation and Jesus, the Son of God. This particular topic can be found under the Christian Beliefs unit, and this is Lesson 5 on the incarnation of Jesus and the Son of God. Okay, before we crack on, you'll be aware of these YouTube channels, hopefully because you have been on Show My Homework. At least you should. If you're on Show My Homework, or when you're on Show My Homework, sitting alongside this hyperlink to this YouTube clip is a document, or certainly an attachment to a document. Click on that hyperlink and you'll get the document. And on that document, I would like you to do all the activities, can do the key terms. In addition to that, please take some key notes on the narrative you're about to hear from me. Take a photo of the work that you have done and then email it to my email address, please. And we're jobs are good, work submitted. Thank you. Anyway, what do we know about the incarnation and Jesus, the Son of God? Well, is there any evidence that Jesus is the incarnation of God, or is it just absolute waffle? I mean, remember, fundamentally, we need to remember what the incarnation of God is. Essentially, God in human flesh. Jesus is believed by Christians to be exactly that, God in human flesh. Any evidence? Well, Mary is believed to have been born a virgin, which tells us that Jesus was born without sin. He was not born within the context of lust. Now, without going into too much detail, you and I were probably born as a result of lust. Jesus, therefore, was not, because he was conceived of a Virgin Mary. Therefore, he does not have the stain of original sin that everyone else carries, because that sin being, of course, lust. Okay, first thing. However, the problem is, if you're non-Christian, can you really use the Bible as a source for authority? Like, oh, well, yes, Mary was, of course, a virgin, so therefore, of course, Jesus had to be the incarnation of God. It's probably rather flimsy evidence if you are non-religious or atheist. We are also told with the same source of evidence by the angel Gabriel, and we've done this within our Islam piece of work, it's pronounced Jibril within Islam. The angel Gabriel appears to Mary and explicitly says that you will have God's son, and you will call him Jesus. Again, we have like a secular evidence, or in other words, non-religious evidence. We seem to be dragging everything from the Bible, which once again, if you're not using that as a source of authority, again, it's rather flimsy evidence that Jesus was indeed the incarnation of God. So that brings us on to the Son of God. And how do we know, that in any way was God divine? Was he even part of the Trinity? Was he same thing really? In incarnation, was he part God? Was he Son of God? Well, we can certainly look to the resurrection as quite strong evidence that dictates that perhaps that Jesus was somebody different. Human beings do not have the capacity, by and large, to defeat death. Yes, they might, for example, after a number of seconds, come back after being resuscitated with the old defibs, and but not after 3 days. Very plausible if you buy into Christianity and again you see the Bible as a source of authority. But the thing is with this story, Jesus was believed after his death and he was crucified. 3 days later he rose. Very plausible if you're a Christian. Buy into the story. The narrative dictates absolutely Jesus was the Son of God, or is the incarnation of God. If it's not a source of authority to you, and by that I mean the Bible, again, it's quite flimsy evidence. The word Jesus, not Jesus, but Christ, comes from the word Christus, meaning anointed one. It's a Greek word meaning anointed one. The fact that he was given that very title by his contemporaries would be quite significant, as it would indicate that he was anointed and all kings were anointed. It would therefore indicate that Jesus was somebody who was a king amongst men, and therefore different, unique, and perhaps though a bit of a leap to say the Son of God. But that is who Jesus was. And what we need to do, as I say, is write those key words. Words like incarnation, Christus. What did we say it meant? Any evidence to suggest that Jesus is the Son of God. What do you think? Can you please also do the activities, write the key terms, and send it on to me? Good luck.